Election process in India. So, why do we need this one, which the election? You know, India is a democratic nation where representatives will form the government. So, to elect the representatives, election commission is needed. The process of elections are needed. So, let's know about the election process in India and how it is set up. What is the role of a election commission? Look at here some newspaper cutouts are given. What are there in all these newspaper cutouts? EC, the first one, this one. EC issues notification constituting 14th Lok Sabha. EC tightens norms for poll expenses. EC to visit Gujarat again, review poll arrangements. So all these are the newspaper cutouts relating to the EC. What is EC? Election Commission. It is a autonomous body. We'll find out much more about Election Commission. Look at figure 16.1. What is this figure? Yes, it is ballot box. What is mean by ballot box? Where voters have to insert their vote, that is a ballot paper we call, into the box, right? That is a ballot box where ballot papers, what we call votes of the voters, are inserted by voters instead. So let's see that election system in India. Our India is second in population. To form the government, there is need of all the people to take decisions for forming the government. So it is very big difficult for people to gather where the population of a nation is high, right? We have enormous population. As per the 2011 census, we have 121 crore people. So is it possible for all the people to gather and take decision? It's not possible where the population is large one, right? So to overcome this problem, it is very essential to have elections. Recently, elections are held in America. Have you seen that in the newspaper? There, Joe Biden become the 46th president of America. And in India too, we see that elections are conducted periodically for every 5 years. So let us see that how these elections are conducted. What is the institution or a body which organizes the elections here? India is the largest democratic country in the world, and we have given importance to the democracy. So strong democratic values have to be laid. So for that, elections are inevitable. Elections are conducted by the Election Commission. Which one? Election Commission. This is a body, an institution conducts the what elections. It frames the code of conduct for political parties. What is mean by code of conduct? It is the norms which are to be followed by the political parties. Briefly, we can say that election commission is there for conducting elections and prepares the code of conduct, and after completion of election process the results will be submitted to the central and state governments. If elections are conducted at state level, then the results will be submitted to the state government, and if it is for a central government, then it submits to the what is central government. In that way, the process becomes easy in forming the government. So elections are essential in a democratic nation because we have to form the government, and that too in a democratic manner. So to form the government, there is election commission. What is election commission? We'll see here. Look at the figure 16.2. This is the figure showing election commission. Election commission is an autonomous body. What in by autonomous? It works on its own according to the guidance of the constitution. So it is called an autonomous constitutional body. Which one? Election commission is an autonomous constitutional body. Body means an institution, okay, which works on its own according to the constitution. Okay, so this EC, election commission, in short is called EC. So this election commission was set up in India on 25th January 1950. It was founded. It came into existence on 25th January 1950. Okay. And this election commission, with its authority, the power what it has, with that power, it prepares electoral rolls. What do you mean by electoral rolls? It is a body of voters. Body of voters. And conducts elections to the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and to the every state legislative bodies, and for the president and vice president. So all type of elections are conducted here by the Election Commission of India, right? A president is also from the Election Commission. It may be the vice president or MLAs, MPs, MLCs. All these are elected by the process of election with the election commission. Understand? So election commission is an autonomous body. It is founded on 25th January 1950. Its work is to conduct elections to the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, then state legislative assemblies and state legislative councils. Okay, so here it is what you call this election commission have completed 60 years by January 2010. So election commission decided to celebrate diamond jubilee on its completion of 60 years. So on 25th January 2010, election commission have completed 60 years from its setup. So to commemorate the 60 years of work of election commission, their election commission announced to practice every year 25th January as a National Voters Day. Jatiya Votaru Dinotsavam. So from 2011 onwards, every year on 25th January, we celebrate it National Voters Day. Okay, so every year we are celebrating it. Understand? So how this election commission works here, right? We will compare our elections which are going now with the before independence. It is very difficult for conducting elections in India because it is not a small nation. It is a large nation with a huge population. When we were under British rule, to conduct elections in British India, 14% of the population was given right to vote in during the British period. At that time, we were under British rule. After getting independence, we started conducting elections periodically for every 5 years, and that what we call general elections. Elections are three types: general election, by election, and midterm election. So what is general elections? Elections conducted once for every 5 years. Okay, that what we call general election. So in India, first general elections are conducted in 1952. Which year? 1952. That is called first general election. Recently, in 2019, elections are conducted. That is 17th general elections. Understand? Sorry, I think it is in 2019 it is conducted. So elections conducted for Lok Sabha are called Lok Sabha elections. So in this way, we see elections are conducted. So in the first general elections, which are conducted in 1952, at that time, there the voters were 17.32 crores. How much? 17.32 crore voters were there. Today, the number of voters are above 67 crores. So is it a easy thing to conduct elections for 67 crore people? Very big process it is and difficult one. Okay. So for this, election commission is needed. L what to call needed election commission needed the staff members around 45 lakh. How much? 45 lakh. Today, election commission uses 45 lakh staff for conducting elections in India. So, do you think that election commission have 45 lakh employees? No, there is no own staff members for election commission. Then where does they come? These 45 lakh staff. It is that the government employees. Election commission is given authority to use what to call the employees, government employees relating to the central government and state government. As per the Article 324 and Section 6 of the Constitution have given permission. Constitution has given right to the election commission with the permission of President of India and the governors of the state. EC election commission can use the services of the central and state government employees. Okay, there is no separate or own employees for a election commission. Election commission is given power to use employees of the state government and central government. During the period of elections, election commission is given complete control over the government departments. Any employee of the government is not allowed to move without the prior information to the election commission. Okay, without the permission of the election commission, no one is allowed. So here any decision cannot be taken without prior information to the central election commission. We find election commissions at a central level and states level. Okay, at the central level we find election commission is called Election Commission of India. This is a logo of Election Commission of India given in figure 16.3. Okay, in Hindi it is called Bharat Nirvachan Ayog. Understand? Election Commission of India at a national level, and we find election commission at a states level also. Understand? All these are under a election commission of India. Understand? So election commission does not have its own staff. It uses central and state government employees for conducting the election. Understand? So let us see that who are the members of the election commission. Understand? It is a autonomous body. In election commission we find one head who is called chief election commissioner. We call him what? Chief Election Commissioner. He is the head of the Election Commission of India. Indian Constitution guarantees certain powers for the Chief Election Commissioner. That means some powers are given to the Chief Election Commissioner to conduct elections for central and state in a smooth and fair manner without any disruption. Then who are going to be the head of the election commissioner? Generally, we find that a person who is from Indian Civil Services, who is from Indian Civil Services, is given the position of Chief Election Commissioner of India. Chief Election Commissioner of India will work for a period of 6 years. How many years? The duration, that means the term, the tenure of a Chief Election Commissioner is 6 years. Once a person is appointed as a Chief Election Commissioner, he will be in the position for a period of 6 years or up to the age of 65 years. Whichever is earlier, that is applicable. It means, suppose one person is appointed as a chief election commissioner at the age of 62. What is the age? At the age of 62. So how many years he will be in the position of chief election commissioner? That is up to 65 years of age. It means he will be for a period of 3 years in that position. Understand? Right? So suppose if he is some 59, then 6 years period is taken into account. Understand? So this is a way what to call we look into the election commission. Understand? So for election commission of India, we find one chief election commissioner who is the head of the election commission. His period is 6 years or 65 years of age, whichever is applicable earlier, that is applicable. Okay. Earlier to the 1993, before 1993, Election Commission of India had only one election commissioner and only one election commissioner. After 1993, there is some change. In place of one election commissioner, today, after 1993, we find a election commission consisting 3 members. How many? 3 members. In that, one is a chief election commissioner and two are election commissioners. So who is the head of the election commission? Chief election commissioner. He is assisted by other two election commissioners, and the period, that is the tenure, it is same. The salary, the power and the privileges, everything is same for chief election commissioner and also for election commissioners. Understand? So in our Indian political system, to conduct elections in a smooth and fair manner, by 1990, in that period, T.N. Seshan was was the Election Commissioner of India, Chief Election Commissioner of India, and he recommended some reforms, and those are popularly we call recommendations of T.N. Session. T.N. Session given some recommendations to remove the corruption in conducting elections in India, and there was nationwide recognitions to the powers of Election Commission of India. Understand? Let us see that what are the recommendations of T.N. Session. These are the recommendations T.N. Session given. 14 days time limit for campaigning after the date of withdrawal of nominations. People, candidates who are interested in contesting elections, they are allowed to fill the nomination papers and also given permission for them to withdraw their nomination. Once their nomination is withdrawn, then after there will be 14 days of time for election campaign. So what we are seeing, it is recommendations of T.N. Session. So 14 days time limit should be given for a election campaign. And another is that one candidate is not allowed to contest more than two constituencies at a time. He is allowed to contest in two constituencies. Okay, Peddapalli, Karimnagar, like that. But more than these two is not allowed. And third is, if any candidate is given punishment for 2 years for a crime, then he is not allowed to contest in the elections for next 6 years. Understand? This is the rule recommended by the T.N. Session. Once a candidate goes under a crime and faces what you call bears the punishment, such a candidate is not allowed to contest in elections for next 6 years. And if the contesting candidate expires, dies, their election has to be what postponed, but election should not be abolished. And there, after completing the campaign period, liquor should be banned. Liquor should not be sold. Okay, alcohol should be banned for 48 hours. Many of the people addicted to the liquor, and on the liquor, when they consume the liquor, they may go on bending to vote for the candidates who have given liquor, who distributed the liquor. So for 48 hours, the liquor, sale of liquor should be banned. These are the recommendations given by Water T.N. Session. Now these are followed here. Understand? So these recommendations are given by T.N. Session to remove what you call corruption while conducting elections, because elections should go with a free and fair manner. There should not be force on the voters. Voters have to give their vote, they have to cast their vote on their own, right? They should not what to call bend to the liquor and everything. Understand? So here these are the recommendations of the T.N. Session. Okay. Next is that the functions of the election commission.